Hi everyone, welcome back. I am JK and today I'm back with another new video. Today's video is dedicated to a question that came from a student of mine. The question was a common question, so I thought I will have to make a video about it and let you guys watch it and benefit from it. Because it was a common question, many of English learners, most of them I think, face this problem, so they have the same question. They ask everyone the same question, so I thought you may want to know if I have a solution for this problem, and if I have an answer for this question. Fortunately, I do have an answer and I do have a solution for it, but I'm going to tell you the answer and my solution after the question. So the question was, why do we forget English words or words for any language? My student asked me that I know how to memorize words, I know how to build my vocabulary building, how to improve my vocabulary building, but the problem is I cannot keep these words in my mind, in my memory for a long period of time. So what can I do? My answer was, first, when you memorize a word and before thinking about how long it's going to stay in your mind, it is very important to know how you memorize them. Memorizing words are a very, I think, complicated way and a very complicated activity. Because keeping a word for a long time in your mind depends very much on how you memorize them. For example, if you take a word from a dictionary or from a textbook, you write it down in your notebook, you write the definition, or you write the meaning in your own language, then you repeat it several times to memorize it and get the word into your mind. I think it's a very old way, and it's a useless way. It's not going to work that way. If you want to memorize a word, and if you want to avoid forgetting it, and if you want to keep the word in your memory for a long period of time, I think it's better to learn the word with the sentence or with the phrase you see the word in. So don't memorize a single word. Try to memorize a phrase, or try to memorize for example, a sentence. If you cannot memorize the sentence, of course it's difficult to memorize the sentence, and you will not be able to use the word in another sentence. But at least you can keep in your mind where this word came from, or where you saw the word for the first time. That way, if you even forget the word, if you even forget it, and you hear the word from someone else, or you read it in a textbook, or a newspaper, or anywhere else, I think you will have a clue that this word came from, for example, a newspaper, or from an article that was about a specific idea, or about a specific issue. So that way you may at least get something, a clue about the meaning of the word. But if you memorize the word, a single word, and you just repeat it until you get it to into your memory, that way, once you forget it, you will have no clue where the word comes from, and what does it mean, or you cannot even think or imagine and guess what the word can mean. So that's why I think, in order to avoid and prevent forgetting the word, you better learn and memorize and keep in mind where the word comes from. And secondly, but if you have, for example, you have built your vocabulary building and you know lots of words, lots of English words, now you don't remember where they came from, I do also have a solution for you to avoid losing them, or to avoid forgetting them. The solution is, I think you will have to use these words in your daily conversation. When you talk to people, or when you, for example, have a conversation with your classmate, with your friend, with your family members, anyone who speaks English or any other language. I suggest you use your words in your daily conversation. That way you will keep them fresh and you will not lose them, and you will not forget them. But of course, you may something may be coming to your mind that if there's nobody else, if there's no one, for example, if we don't have anybody who can speak English and who can, for example, have a conversation with us, what should we do then? I think it's better to talk to yourself. I don't mean you should have a conversation to yourself at the same time. Of course, we did this a long time ago when I used to, when I was trying to learn English. I would stand in front of the mirror and I would talk to myself. But I think that sounds a little bit crazy. Yeah, I got another way, a very good way, and it's not, I think it's not crazy, but it is a little bit difficult to do it. But in order to learn it, I think you will have to do it. The way and the method, I think, is going to be useful if you don't have any native English speakers, or if you don't have any friends, any family member who can speak English with you, or if you or to have conversation with you. You can take today, nowadays, I think everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone in his pocket, or at least a computer at home. So you better record some questions. Doesn't matter if it's an audio or a video. So you record some questions. For example, you pretend that you ask your name, what's your name? Then you ask, where do you come from? Where do you live? Or for example, where do you study English? So some common questions, and you can just ask and pose questions, record them, then save the questions. Do not forget to keep some space and some distance between the questions, so that way once you record it, then you can play the audio or the video and then answer to the questions you recorded before. For example, you have asked what is your name? You have asked what's your name? Then you can say my name is JK. Then you have asked where do you live? Then you say, for example, I live in New York City. Then you ask, where do you study English? Then you can answer that I don't study English anymore, but I teach English. So that way it is just the same as having a conversation with a native English speaker or with someone who speaks English. And hope this video was useful and you could get something from it. That's it from me, and see you in another video. If there's anything you want me to talk about, if there's anything you want me to instruct you and teach you in English language, do not forget to write in the comment section below. Share my videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.